reported here on the show that Kellyanne Conway, who is the counselor to the Trump administration, had actually been denied to come on to CNN. And again, that almost never happens. The White House offered her to come on because these CNN guys, all the mainstream media guys, want access to someone in the administration because that is what they feed on. They need the access. That's how they get their main views and the main grabs. So we told you that she got denied, which is embarrassing in itself, but it makes sense, making up a massacre is probably pretty high up on there, and then the whole alternative facts thing where you make everything up and shake up the whole system and be like, there's no really system of facts or environment of facts and how to distinguish what's fact or not, and just making total shit up. So here's interesting. There's a report that she is going to be completely banned from CNN because of her lack of credibility and how much she makes shit up. Every time she comes on, she makes some shit up or advocates and supports someone who made shit up. So this is what it says. CNN considers permanent ban for Kellyanne Conway over serious questions about credibility, report. So this is Raw Story. They say, over the weekend, CNN pointedly turned down an offer from the White House to have Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway appear on its Sunday shows. And a new report claims that might be a permanent arrangement. According to the New York Times, CNN executives have serious questions about Conway's credibility as she has consistently pushed what she herself has called alternative facts, such as the non-existent Bowling Green massacre that was roundly mocked last week. The Times noted that the media critics such as New York University professor Jay Rosen have called on networks to bar Conway from their shows due to her repeated use of falsehoods, so it's possible CNN could be just the first network to decline offers to have Conway on their shows. This is unbelievably awesome. Kellyanne Conway is detrimental to the intelligence of the American people, as well as the status quo of intelligence and how intelligence is accepted, or not intelligence, but information is accepted. So, is it okay to have someone on who every single time advocates or supports and makes things up for someone making things up or lying? Is that okay? It's not. Seriously, it's not. Number two, the whole alternative facts thing is so unreal and so alienated that I have never seen anything like. Obviously, I'm only 16. I'm not some kind of what do you call it, a sage or something like that, super experienced. But this is uncharted waters we are reaching, and it is that saying something is an alternative fact is just simply unheard of. I don't even know what that means. So here's the thing. If it's not a fact, it's not a fact. That means that it's simply not true. That means that it is a falsehood. It is not a fact. An opinion is something that you believe. A fact is something that is 100% true. So, for example, the numbers of people at an inauguration. You can't just make it up. If you say there's a bunch of people there, not only are you wrong, it's your opinion, sure, but you're just straight out wrong and no one's going to agree with you. But you can't just change up the whole spectrum and say alternative facts, bro. What does that even mean? Like, imagine showing that to anyone else. The fact that our president's cabinet is using this argument is so embarrassing because nobody in their right mind in the real society would be able to use this. So if the president can use it, we would think that it would be universal among everyday people. Like, for example, if you're in school, you go to your teacher and say, she says, you got a 16 out of, or a 14 out of 20 on your quiz. You got a C. You go, no. I'm gonna give you an alternative fact. The alternative fact is that I got 20 out of 20 on my quiz and I got an A, and you're gonna give me an A for everything because that is what happened. That doesn't make any sense. You go to your boss. Your boss says, hey, you signed up for this many hours, and you say, no, I didn't. So I'm still going to get paid, and I'm not going to work because that's an alternative fact. I signed a contract that said that. That's an alternative fact. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And if the president can use it, but the everyday American people can't use it, it just doesn't make any sense. So Kellyanne Conway is detrimental to society, and she should be barred from every news station possible because she is an idiot who is destroying the intelligence and the IQ average levels of average American human beings who watch this shitty mainstream media anyways, which isn't which the number seems to be dwindling, but the point here is that Kellyanne Conway is an idiot, and a full-on ban will be 100% supported by me.